This is Classic 105. We're all about good times and great. Welcome to the weekend. It officially starts right here, right now with Maina Kageni in the morning. And what a better way to start it off than having a soul legend in front of you, Freddie Jackson. Welcome to Classic 105.
You're welcome, Mr. Accepted, and I'm extremely happy
to be here.
To
Welcome to Kenya as well. First time in Africa?
I've been to many parts. I've been to Nigeria, Accra, Johannesburg, Soweto. I've been around. Been looking forward to coming here, though. Something about the energy of just knowing that I was coming here was exciting for me. I felt like I was coming home to talk to Mother. welcome. Yeah.
You told me something about All Over You that I did not know.
Yeah, it's written by a gentleman who passed.
Yeah.
Mr. Keith Diamond. Keith Diamond was from Africa. I don't know exactly which part, but he's from Africa.
Yeah.
He ended up in London, living there. But Africa was his home.
Wow.
And so when you listen to the drum beats,
that's when you said it, it suddenly clicked.
It went to, it's a part of him. It's a part of him, just the heritage of the drums.
Apparently also wrote When the Going Gets Tough for Billy Ocean.
When it gets tough, tough gets going. And when you listen to that song, there's an African flair.
There is.
In his music and that too.
It is.
A little history we were teaching today.
Absolutely. But once again, welcome to Kenya. Let's talk about the legend that is Freddie Jackson.
Wow. That legendary guy, he's incredible. When I see him, I'm going to kiss him. Freddie Jackson. In Kenya, you know, you read about Kenya when you're in school as a kid. You watch different documentaries about Kenya on television. And here I am.
Here you are.
You know, dreams do come true.
Absolutely.
And here I am in Kenya. And this is another one for my books. Just when people say that, you know, you just feel like you've done it all and you've been everywhere. And I get that question a lot. What's your favorite place? I'm like, I can't give that to you yet because I really haven't experienced my favorite place. What I like going to places, but my experiences, which is a good thing, is that I can still do this and experience good emotions out of stuff. And so Kenya to me is one of those new learning experiences, yet one that's very welcome.
Absolutely. And once again, welcome. When did you get your big break?
Well, I got my big break, I guess, when I interrupted my mother's show almost 58 years ago when she was pregnant. And my mother was a singer, and 15 hours later I was born. But in the industry, Miss Melba Moore discovered me in a small club in New York City called Freddie's. And she had just signed her own production company, and she was excited about my voice, and she put me in the studio. And I recorded the Rock Me Tonight album. We shopped it to Capitol Records. And they fell in love. And I've not gone back since then. After Rock Me Tonight, my entire life just took a total different turn. I've been rocking ever since. But, you know, of course, growing up in church as a child and singing and learning the rhythms and learning harmonies and singing, gospel really is my first love. And maybe when people hear me sing, they feel what they feel is what I've been taught.
Absolutely.
As I was learning
to sing
gospel. But gospel is really not so much taught. It's just, it is a fierce emotion, and that comes from the higher being. And so when I perform, even my love songs, the All Over You and the You Are My Lady, there's an emotion that spiritually I connect with those songs, and I think that's what makes those songs history.
One of my listeners actually texted me a couple of days ago saying, no one sings with more passion and more energy, especially into ballads, than Freddie Jackson.
Shika Shika.
Shika Shika session. The king of Shika Shika. I tell you.
Is home.
Yes, absolutely. The king of Shika Shika session. How did it feel getting to #1 and seeing your name there at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100?
I have to be honest with you. I didn't know what it really meant. You know, I came up singing background for Entombed,
Yes.
Juicy.
Yes,
That's me
Juicy
singing
Fruit, yeah.
background.
Wow.
And for Glenn Jones, Show Me.
Yeah.
That's me singing background. I sang background for Harry Belafonte. My first job singing background, I was one of the original Dale boys.
Wow.
Kids, I was 29 years old. And when I hit number one, I was in Europe doing press for the Rock Me Tonight.
Yeah.
CD, album, CD, yeah, vinyl.
Yeah, vinyl back in the day. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
And my manager at the time called me and said, man, you can sit down. You got a number one record. And my response was, wow, that's nice. He said, what did you just say?
What do you mean that's nice?
Wow, that's nice. He said, boy, do you realize what this means for you? And now I know what it means to have a number one record. We're trying to get another one of those again, but I'm grateful for what I have.
Yeah.
But it just changed my entire being. And while I was getting used to this show business, he's a star, and my life changing, and I'm no longer eating McDonald's, and I'm eating ribeye steaks now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Filet mignon,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
Things just changed, and it was such a blessing. Number one, you know, I've had 11 number one records in my career. I tell people I've got number one records to lend you if you don't have one. You need a number one, take one of mine. You're like, oh, that's some cocky stuff, Freddie Jackson. You know,
I can lend you a number one hit single if you don't have
and
one.
still have more.
I like that. I like that. I really like that. So, which of your contemporaries did you grew up in an era when the singing was crazy?
Singing was singing.
Singing was singing.
Real masterfully directed music and voices like Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, to this day, you can't, a male artist that says he doesn't steal a Luther Vandross lick, they're lying.
True.
You know, really, because he was our Johnny Mathis. He was our Frank Sinatra. As far as I'm
that's true.
concerned.
That's true. Actually, he was our Frank Sinatra.
He was our Frank Sinatra. And the writing, his shows, all of it was Hollywood and some more. And Luther intentionally wanted to do that. He admired the Aretha Franklins and those big shows and all those girls with the big gowns. He intentionally wanted to do that Las Vegas thing. Yeah. But in that, he also wanted to keep us as other male singers in the melody of music and in the sweetness and what we would call ourselves then, which now the term is not used, balladeers.
Yeah, balladeers.
And crooners.
Yeah, and crooners. Yeah.
I consider myself to be one of the last of that era crooners.
That's true.
That's still here, because I still love to just sing and croon, but sing right into the riff right and to learn. And see, I was taught by some of the greatest, the Donny Hathaways, a crooner, Marvin Gaye, a crooner.
That's true.
See, we can rattle off those names now. I mean, now.
Yeah.
But now, let's get real. It's going to be hard for our youth as they go along to really say, who are the real male crooners?
That's true.
You know, now, who is the male guy that I can hold down the beat?
Yeah, that's true. You know, I listen to you, and I listen to the late Luther Vandross, listen to Marvin Gaye.
Yes.
And you guys can ad-lib. You guys could ad-lib out of the studio.
It was what a record label wanted. They wanted the guy that can come in. Most of the times when I record, my producers are like, my tags at the end of the song, if you don't know what a tag is, because they're not teaching music anymore.
Yes.
The tag is the end of the song when you just kind of like let loose, and it's just all improvisation, and it's you. Now it's time for me to let go, because I've sold the record.
Yes.
The top of the record is sold. I've sung the melody. I've done everything.
Yeah.
But the tag comes from the gut. It's the body of that meat of the song.
Oh, yes.
And so my producers are like, we love it when it's time to record the tag, because it's just you. Because something comes out of you where you can just sing melodically. And so that's the easiest part of recording for me, the tag. Because I'm like, man, but I want to do more. They're like, save it for your live show. you know. But
saving for your life.
Yeah, but you know, Luther and stuff like that. What we did, we sung our riffs completely, and we sang them right. Yes. Also, it was about it's about diction. Diction is very important.
That's true.
Because you don't want the listener to say, "Oh, I like that," but I've listened to this song 20 times, but I don't know what he's saying.
That's true, yeah. Every word must come out.
Every word you must enunciate those words in order for people to connect with what it is that you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Although there's a little less to say these days.
True.
In music is really now today is, come on and give me some.
Yeah.
I couldn't say that years ago.
Come on and give me some.
Yeah. You know what I need.
Yeah.
Sit on right down over here, you know. But before we had to color it up with, you know, I want to rock you for old time's sake.
Oh.
And that means forever.
Yes.
And it has no boundaries. It's like there's no meaning for me to get together and you know what we do. Let's just do it for old time's sake. Or like when I sing, have you ever loved somebody?
Yes.
That's really just poetry.
Yes.
Have you ever loved? And I sing a song called what is the song? All I Ever Ask.
Yeah.
With Najee. Love me so many different things, but you're all that matters to me. Come to my shoulders when you need to weep. Wake me up when you cannot sleep. That's poetry. So I was about, when I was started recording, making songs that had a story.
Yeah.
And that people could connect with it. A guy could connect with it. If a guy can't say to his lady, know how, a lot of guys, we don't know how to really say, let our hair down and say, I love you.
Yeah.
And the ladies like to hear that. You don't tell me you love me enough. So a lot of guys used to use me and say, yo, man, I put on that Freddie Jackson. She knew what time it was. So a lot of brothers owe me a lot of money.
Yes,
I did the work.
You did the work for them. That is so true.
But the kid is not my son.
Oh, yeah. I swear I just love this guy while